So Kanye West, the man, the myth, the legend. So he has dropped his new album, Jesus is King. And in amongst that, in the build up to the album, he has had an album leaked. Yandy, he has found God. He's now a born-again Christian. He's now a born-again Christian. He is doing Sunday service all around the US. Some people call it a cult. Some people say it's like really dope. And yeah, man, he's in a new phase, musically, spiritually, in his life, where he's finding himself closer to God, and he's trying to kind of rectify, I suppose, what problems he's had in the past. And this new album, Jesus is King, is out. It's very much got a lot of gospel. I'm not going to call it a gospel album.
It is, though.
I mean...
Is it, though?
I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is. It's got gospel influences, but I wouldn't necessarily call it an outright.
It's just Christian rap.
You don't know more than me.
Really, yeah.
You don't know more than me.
It's really Christian rap.
Yeah, you don't know more than me. I just thought it was gospel just because. Obviously, I don't listen to gospel.
I mean, I don't know many.
Because it had a choir.
What?
Because it had a choir.
Listen, man, I'm Muslim, but the only gospel I know is Mary, Mary.
I don't know many rapping gospels though.
Shout out to the Cray.
Yeah, he's Christian rap.
But there's a whole other segment called Christian rap.
Yeah. That's not gospel. It's Christian rap.
Oh, shout out to the Cray.
So Christian rap is like rappers who rap about God.
And gospel?
Gospel is more the music than the theme. You see what I mean? So more choirs,
organs.
He had a choir.
Church.
He had a church.
Sunday service.
He had Sunday service.
Yes, but it's still kind of more Christian rap, I'd say. Let me finish the intro, innit? So he's dropped his new album. It's got elements of gospel. I wouldn't call it a gospel album. I'd probably call it a Christian rap album. And obviously it's been met with mixed reviews. So I guess what I want to know from myself and you guys is in 2019, given everything that's happened to him in the last year or two, or even in the last, you could go as far back as like the last 3 years in his life and in his music. How do we feel about the man known as Kanye West in 2019? And what do we think about the album?
This album weren't it, man. For me.
Tell me more.
It weren't it at all, man. I appreciated the content and what he was trying to do with the content. But as far as the actual music, the instrumentation, the beats, it didn't slap for me, man. Like there were probably about 2 songs that I really enjoyed. I liked Follow God. That was more vintage Kanye. I feel like that was probably done for Yandy. I feel like it was probably for that. And I liked there's a song called Water as well. And I remember when the night that you man forced me to listen to the album.
Forced.
Pause. We didn't force you.
I was definitely forced to listen to the album.
I said forced.
Big up Rich.
You made your own choice.
Rich
when I heard that song, I thought, this song is absolutely beautiful. But apart from that, I did not enjoy the album, man. Like the intro was great, the outro was great. Both quite simplistic and both very what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but if you're going to hear a gospel, quote unquote gospel album, you would expect to hear, an intro like that was just full of choir singing, and then the outro, similar sort of effect as well. Apart from that, I did not enjoy the album, man. Like the Clips song should have been way better. If you're getting these two back together after so long, come on, man, just let them rap. Don't let them give me only 6 to 8 bars and that's it. And then you've got Kenny G on the saxophone. He
went on for ages
doing nonsense.
He went on.
And why? Where did he find Kenny G? That's what I want to know. Why Kenny G?
I mean,
for jazz purists, they know that Kenny G's not really rated like that in the jazz world. Do you know what I'm saying? At all. Because he's like the Vanilla Ice of jazz.
Swear.
In a sense where he came out, he did smooth jazz, which smooth jazz isn't really seen as skillful at all. And then he sold bare records. So he wasn't really rated like that. Similar to Vanilla Ice, when he came through, he had that Ice Ice Baby song, sold bare records, and then that was that.
Audience, I want you to note that Peter's talking on behalf of the whole jazz community.
He definitely is.
That's how
hey, man. I am.
He's a jazz correspondent.
No, I am. So, yeah, I just did not enjoy the album. I was really disappointed by it, man, to be quite honest with you. I had no expectations, and I actually had no intentions of listening to the album right now. I was going to probably get to it at some point. But again, I was kind of forced to getting into it. But yeah, no, I was disappointed, man. I think with Kanye, like, and it's funny because when Yemi and Rich were having a conversation, I remember Yemi like rated the album what he rated it, and I remember Rich's reaction. So like by Rich's reaction, I kind of had this expectation that this might actually be something. But then when I got to it, I was just like, I'm still kind of waiting. Like it was just really bland. It's just really bland, really boring. I feel like his rapping wasn't great at all. It's deteriorated. And it was just disappointing, man. It was disappointing.
I think I'll give you my rating. My rating, when I initially spoke to Rich and Peter about it, I gave it a 6 out of 10. I'm probably going to put that down to a 5 now. I think it's decent. I really love some of the music on the album. The lyrics are dog shit, but that's whatever. Like, I've never gone to Kanye for lyrics. This album, I liked more than I thought I would. So if I'm just going to look through the tracks, every hour, the first song, cool. Seller, meh. Follow God.
I fucked with Seller.
Follow God, fire. Close on Sunday, no. On God, no. Everything we need, no. Water, yes. God is, yes. Hands on, yes. Use this gospel, disappointed. Jesus is Lord, good. So that's more or less like halfway. I feel like Kanye, generally as an artist, with Jesus is King, with Ye, with Kids See Ghost, I feel like he has kind of fallen off as far as like when it comes to albums. And what I mean by that is like he has probably a couple, 2 or 3, maybe even 4 really good ideas for songs, for albums, but they're never fully developed. And I feel that way. I feel that's been the case for Ye, Kids See Ghosts, and Jesus is King. I feel like he's been putting out an album just for the sake of it. And anytime you promise to put out an album on a day and you're still working on that album the day of release, I know for a fact that it's not fully fleshed out. You're just rushing it. So I feel like Jesus is King was rushed. At 27 minutes, it can't not be. Like the lyrics are nothing. The music is great. And we're always going to go to Kanye West for great music. He's always going to provide us with great sounds. 100%. But I'm in a case where I'm kind of in the middle where I was expecting a much worse album. And I didn't get like a terrible album. But it's also like, I can't really support or really sit well with his direction because of everything that's going on outside of it, if I'm honest. But as for the album, like, it's cool. I'll go back to Follow God, I'll go back to Water and those ones, but I'm not necessarily going back to it, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm cool on this album, man.
What do you think, Mo?
I actually agree with both of you. Like, there's no discussion, like there's no debate here. I think the album's very much. I liked it. It's gonna sound weird because I really fucked with it at first, and then normally it's the opposite for me with albums. It's the second, third time I like it more. It's after the first listen, I was like, alright, quite fuck with this album. Second and third listen, I was like, I don't know how much I'm gonna go back. Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas normally it's the opposite. The first time you hear the album, you think it's alright. The second time you go, alright, you know what? Fuck with this album. It's the opposite for this one. When I listen to it, I'm like, it's alright. I don't know. Just being honest, I don't know if it's because I'm Muslim, I can't relate to a lot of the bars. But then how much can I relate to gangster rap? Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if that's a excuse. Maybe it's just...
It might be a little bit because it's very like basic entry level Christianity.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know if how much... Yeah, I don't know how much of a... How much can I really relate to other... Do you know what I mean? It's not, I can't relate to a lot of music. Do you know what I mean? But this album, I don't know. It wasn't it for me. Kanye's not it for me. The album wasn't it for me. So, boy,
do you feel like he was preaching at you?
Yeah, man. Bruv, I don't even believe half of the shit he says, man. Definitely.
Yeah, it all seems a bit contrived. Man.
Yeah, man. He's a character. What's the word?
Caricature.
He's a character of himself.
Yeah, because I feel like with every album cycle, there's always a new problem for him.
Always.
With Jesus, it was about, being blackballed by the fashion industry. With Ye, it was his bipolar. And obviously he's working on that and treating that because clearly you can see he's not a well guy. Like,
no, he definitely
he needs help. And by all means, I hope he gets the help he needs in that front. And with Jesus King, it's about his religion. I feel like it's all like, without being too cynical, it seems a bit opportunistic to, after supporting Trump and wearing the MAGA hat and all that stuff, to then hop on, God, trying to trademark the term Sunday service. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen. I know Peter's definitely seen the merch that he's putting out and stuff.
But the prices were stupid as well.
But not even that. Like he's selling. He's trying to sell God. He's trying to sell religion. And that part of him, I can't sit well with. I can't support that.
But is that him or is that just not trying to stray away from the hip hop debate? But is that just not religion in general?
Well, yeah, but when you're hopping, I mean, that's a wider discussion.
Yeah, that's what I'm not trying to stray away from. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's a wider discussion.
I don't know if he's breaking the norm.
But if we're talking about Kanye, then someone who has always been so independent, so fierce with what he believes in, I just feel like nowadays he's not convincing. No. Like if I was even watching the interview he did with Big Boy, and he never really he doesn't answer questions, man. He's so indirect and he's so like, I mean, even though I got from that interview the kind of things that I got about fans being hypocritical and wanting a certain image of him, and Kanye fans put him on a pedestal, but he never really proclaimed to be on said pedestal. Like everyone is so quick to mention the fact that he said George Bush doesn't care about black people, and then are shocked to see him support Trump, or like not even support Trump, but he was like, "Yo, Trump is a nice guy." Like, I don't think he's outright said like I support Trump.
No, he said that. Yeah. I think he likes him as a person. I think he likened the fact that they share the same type of energy, and I think he called it dragon-like energy, and that's what he likes.
When you wear the Make America Great Again hat, you stand for what he stands for.
I'm conflicted on Kanye. I'm conflicted on Kanye, man. I'm extremely conflicted on this guy, man. Like with the album, like when it was said that he was going to do this, this gospel thing, I actually thought that it would be quite easy for him to do, because although, and I had this debate with Rich, although like, gospel isn't necessarily the same as making like soul music, I don't think it's that far. So as far as like the instrumentation, I just thought, maybe this would be, a time for him to kind of just jump back in his bag and be extremely creative. Even in like reading some of the credits, like I was thinking, and the track list, and I was thinking, all right, cool, this guy probably would have gotten a lot of writing help as well. Maybe he's got, Rhyme Fest back in the picture as well.
You couldn't tell.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
That's a consequence.
Yeah, so I was thinking that, this could actually be something. But yeah, man, it just was really like, really disappointing, man. Extremely disappointing. And like, I feel like it talks to where Kanye is just in general. I feel like the album is as confusing as he is, to be honest with you. Where I say I'm conflicted with this guy is because, as much fuckery as he's done, man, like I still believe that, like he's still one of us. Let's still back him. Let's still put our arm around him. Let's still love him, and let's educate him. I don't want us to like just chuck him to the side, but then at the same time, like he's making it extremely easy for us to just want to chuck him to the side. This whole kind of going into, Christian rap or whatever he's doing, yeah, like it speaks to, I think, us as a people as well, for him to feel like this is all it's going to take to kind of get back in people's good graces. Whenever someone fucks up within the black community, man, they just run to the church because of how black people feel about Christianity and our ties to the church. And it kind of feels as though you could argue that maybe that's what he's doing here. Maybe that's why this whole spectacle with the album is what it is.
You know what it is? I feel like he genuinely does want a great relationship with God. I genuinely believe he is born again. I genuinely believe all that stuff. It's just in the context of him supporting, well, quote unquote, supporting Trump and wearing the hat and all that stuff. It's such an extreme to go from that to then saying, I'm born again, I want to do a gospel album, this, that, and the other. So in some respects, I can understand people's concerns and people's willingness to just discard him because it's so like random what he does sometimes. But at the same time, like, this is a guy who's clearly affected and needs help, like mental help, all that stuff. Like, he ain't been the same since his mum died. And I feel like since Jesus times, each year he's just like,
it's one thing after another.
He's just degenerated even more. So it gets tricky. It gets tricky because you're dealing with someone who clearly needs like a lot of help, and it's just shouting and yelling and trying to, like, I suppose, release something that might not necessarily be there I want to support him and I always will. But like you said, like Peter said, he does make it very hard.
He does it for me. He doesn't.
He doesn't make it hard.
No, he doesn't make it for me. I listen to Kanye West, but fuck him. Like, I'm sorry, I can't support him anymore.
Are you able to separate the artist from the art?
Yeah. I fuck with Kanye West's music. I don't fuck with Kanye as a person. I've checked that, man.
My thing is,
Once you side yourself with someone so fucked, I can't have any sympathy for you, if that makes any sense.
Let me ask you a question though. Can we as people deal with duality in a sense where I fuck with you, Mo, you're like, you know, close friend or whatever. But like if I disagree with your political views, let's say you voted for Brexit, for example.
There's a difference though.
Hold on, let me finish. Does that mean that like I need to kind of start questioning my friendship with you?
No, there's a difference.
Mohammed voted for Brexit is wild.
And if I vote for someone who says Nigerians are a piece of shit,
Right.
Nigerians are a problem,
Right.
and you see me actively saying, yo, that guy's all right, you have to look at me sideways. Donald Trump actively said Islam is a problem. I'm Muslim. Donald Trump actively called Africa a shithole.
Yeah, but
it's a problem.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Yeah, but Kanye might not, and I'm not even trying to stick up for Kanye, but I'm playing devil's advocate
But
here.
once you side with that person, he can say,
But is it then-
Has he sided with that person, or has he said that, yo, I like this trait of that person?
This is it. I was
once
about
you
to
wear
say, is it fair? Is
once
it
you
fair?
wear that hat,
No,
make
man.
America great again, you side with that person.
But is it fair-
If I
but is
wear
it-
an Arsenal hat today, do I not fuck with Arsenal?
It's a bit different.
But is it fair to say that you support someone who has these heinous views about things because of something different that they said? So let's say, for example,
So you tell me that you take one bit, but you don't take the rest.
I mean, that's what fans do. That's what fans do.
But then
People took the Kanye West saying George Bush don't care about black people and put him on this pedestal of him being like a freedom fighter and being off the people and
that's
shit.
the mistake people made, though. I'm just saying.
But it wasn't just that, though.
But once you, my view is, I get what you're saying, because you can side with someone's opinion on one thing and not the rest. But sometimes some views are so heinous, it overshadows the rest. He's actively called my religion a problem.
Yeah. But that doesn't
not
affect,
ifs and buts.
but that doesn't affect Kanye.
Yeah, that's my point, though. But then once you side with that person, as a Muslim, I got to look at you like, yo, what the fuck? He's called my whole religion a problem.
Yeah.
He said, where I come from is a piece of shit. He's banned my people from coming to America because supposedly we're fucked. Once you side with that person who's against morally everything I stand for, because I'm Muslim before I'm anything else. Do you know what I'm saying?
I didn't know that.
Then I'm African. Then I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, yo, what do you mean you're siding with him? You're meant to be on our side over here. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a weird one because then it's like, yo, then it goes back to the question of where's my moral compass?
There's so many, there's so many shades of grey
that's it.
because like siding with someone because they've said something cool doesn't then necessarily mean that you sort of sided with them on everything.
I agree, but I feel like that's politics. But I feel like some views overshadow the rest.
No, I 100%
You know what I'm saying?
agree.
I get what you're saying. Like, whoever you vote for is whoever you vote
But
for.
what did it with Kanye West? And Kanye West already has a warped view of reality. So in his world, he can probably let's say, for example, he does support Trump saying that Islam is a problem. In his own world, he'll probably find a way to justify that being a thing.
Yeah, because it doesn't affect him.
Not to say that he has.
Yeah, I agree. But then I also don't believe this act. I generally do feel like it's a cult.
What,
Like,
some
it looks like a cult. It just doesn't look right, bruv.
Why doesn't it look right?
I don't know, but it just...
Moe from the Joe Budden podcast, shout out him, said it wasn't. He was there.
Yeah, but doesn't Mo's brother work for...
Rockefeller.
Yeah, so like...
I mean...
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't think
know
he's...
how- I don't know how...
Political
I'm saying,
connects,
but I
yeah.
don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what he's trying to fuck up.
I don't think that means like...
That's one of the biggest artists.
I don't think that means he has to be loyal.
Why not?
Because
That's
it's,
their
it's not like J and Ye are the closest right now.
But can he still actively go out and disrespect Kanye West, knowing that that's their biggest artist or one of?
Yes, if he wants to.
Has he before?
I mean, I don't know.
You see what I'm saying?
But if he wanted to, he probably could.
I don't know. I'm just saying, to me, looking in, it just doesn't look
Legit.
right.
Yeah.
Even when he's talking, like even a Big Boy interview, when it's like Instagram runs your women, and then Big Boy must have said to him, "Don't your wife make money off Instagram?" And he skirted around the whole question.
Yeah.
But he was doing that the whole...
Yeah, but my point is he doesn't look right.
No, it don't look
You know
right.
what I'm saying? And then also there was another thing. It's just like when he's like, "Yo, after I've been doing this, God made..." I don't know if you lot saw the Carpool Karaoke or another interview. I don't know what it was. And he's like, "After I've been doing what I'm doing, God has given me 60 million back in tax rebate.
Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, because everything that's going wrong with the world, God will give you 60 mil. Like, bruv, like, do you not have sanity? Just because you found God now, God bless you if you have. I don't believe you have, but if you have, God bless you.
How can you say you don't believe him?
I'm just saying. Now you're telling me, okay, God has said, you know what?
But also,
fuck
like,
all these, man.
cool.
Let me give Kanye West, who's already rich, 60 million.
Nah, man. Look, people have their individual relationships with God. Like, you can't tell someone how their relationship with God is.
That's a fact.
If he feels like if he feels like God has given him that rebate, then who are you to say that's not true?
I never said that's not true.
but-
I just said it's very, very.
Of course, it
But then-
sounds interesting. It sounds interesting.
That's all I'm saying, fam.
But then some people's issues is the fact that he's using God to get back in our good graces.
But is he
I
though?
feel
Because
like
he's
in a
still
lot-
sticking by what he's saying. Even while bringing up God, has he gone back on anything he said? Which is what I respect.
I think he's apologized for a couple of things.
like what? He hasn't apologized.
He apologized for slavery as a choice, and we knew what he meant when he was talking about that. We knew.
I feel like I knew what he was trying to say.
We knew what he was trying to say. It's just that the way he said it
Yeah, he
meant we
doesn't-
were all in an uproar.
he doesn't
And I think for some quarters of the black community, he was talking that shit. He was talking the real shit.
Dumb motherfuckers.
This is what I mean. So it's like some of us are offended by him saying these things, but we are black people. Sometimes we have that mentality.
Yeah, I agree.
Sometimes we like to play victim.
I think the people that are most offended by Kanye West and the people that are most pissed with him are the people that held him to such a high esteem as well.
Literally took the words out.
I think because of all the music he's put out, and the messages in his music, crack music specifically, and just talking about certain things in the music, I think naturally we will put somebody in a certain, kind of category because they're addressing certain things.
That's a fact.
So essentially, the comments that he's made outside of the music are going against that, and that's the problem that people are having now.
Here's the thing, though: 2005 Kanye versus 2019 Kanye, not the same person.
No, not at all.
And while I'm not mad at people placing him on a pedestal because of what he said and what he's rapped about, that's fine because that's the only thing you have of him. Like, you're gonna believe in the stuff he's talking about in the subject matter. Like, he's made songs like crack music. He's made songs like what else he made? Like a lot of like things that are talking to like social issues and stuff like that. So the old Kanye was like that guy. But we've seen over the last we could even probably say 10 years, since the whole Taylor Swift thing, we've seen this guy slowly morph into something else.
We even backed him on the Taylor Swift thing.
Yeah.
We rolled
the
for
whole
him on the Taylor
world
Swift
shouted
thing.
him.
We
Barack Obama
rolled-
called him a jackass.
And we rolled for him on that. I don't know. Maybe it's just because of the pedestal I had. Yo, Kanye West a genius, bro.
I don't know, man. I just
Like,
feel
he's
like
a genius, bruv. Like, let's give him his credit. He's on a different.
Of course.
he's a genius.
that's my favorite
Like,
artist
he
of
might
all
be.
time.
He might be. If you take help out of it, the best producer rapper ever. In my opinion, he is. Like,
Yeah.
in my opinion, he is. Like, he's.
I mean,
that's-
Q-Tip is, but for you.
I'm just saying, it's a conversation.
Yeah.
For him to already be best producer rapper conversation, I mean, he's a genius, and it's like, yo,
But the issue isn't his artistry, man.
that's my point. But then, how often you can't help but
And despite
Cross
this,
that over.
and despite this not very good album, I still feel like he's still got a lot in his bag.
I think-
I'm never counting out Kanye West
what's the
at all.
what's the conversation we had?
I think he's fallen
What's the
off.
conversation we had
can't
on
remember.
the podcast? How many bad albums do you have to?
I think
Kanye's given me enough classics that I will check out his music in some capacity,
it is?
one way or another. At
You
some
wasn't gonna
point.
check out this album.
No,
if you
know
was-
what?
no, I wasn't going to do it immediately. I was going to get to it when I got to it.
I think Kanye's discography post Life of Pablo, if you give to any other artist, you probably say it's a decent discography.
Decent. It's
But-
way better than decent.
You reckon?
What before Jesus?
No, after Life of Pablo. So we're talking Life of Pablo, Yay,
yeah.
Kid See Ghost, and Jesus is King.
Do we?
To any
no,
other
I don't-
artist,
yeah,
to
I
any,
don't- I
I
don't
think
agree
if
with that.
I think if you give that
Oh, no,
discography
man.
to any other artist, it might be decent. But because Kanye has already set such high standards for
looks trash.
himself,
Looks trash.
it looks not as good. That's why I will always say, since Life of Pablo, he has fallen off. Because even with Life of Pablo, he was talking about shit. Yay and stuff, like, okay,
Actually-
cool, he's dealing with other things and different changes in his life, but it's not as hard hitting. Like, the music is always going to be there, but even with the music, I feel like these days it's becoming a lot more aligned with what's already out there.
I really liked Life of Pablo for what it's worth. I don't know why.
I really enjoyed it as
I
well.
really enjoyed that album.
I mean, up until Yay, I thought it was his worst album.
I think Jesus was what, right?
I think Ye's his worst album.
No, I think Yay, Kid See Ghost, Jesus. In that one.
I think Ye's his worst one.
Yeah, Yay,
Yeah, it's
Kid See
definitely his
Ghost,
worst one.
Jesus. That's mine. I'm not including this album.
I really liked it. I love Jesus.
I'm not gonna dash that in the bin.
Jesus
bro.
was
I
okay.
remember I downloaded that and then I deleted it and empty recycle bin. Same bit.
Yeah, but that was more for the music.
You know what? It's the empty recycle bin. I had to right click empty recycle bin, bro.
You got to click as well.
Because you remember back then we
You
used to
got empty,
download.
innit?
Because back then we used to
Yeah,
download albums from. I remember I legit.
Yeah, it makes a sound as well.
Fam.
Them was there. Yeah,
remember
it's like a compressor, isn't it?
I remember I think J Cole had that album come out the same week. If
Don't ever compress Kanye West, bro.
Bro, that album was
That's
trash.
disrespectful,
Jesus was trash,
That's
bro.
disrespectful.
Like, can you imagine if I told you someone has these 3 albums, his first 4 albums, first 4, and then that's what he comes out with after.
Yeah, I mean, look,
You know what? I don't mean to cut you off. You know who I compare it to? Arsenal Invincibles.
you had to get an Arsenal reference.
No,
in
I
there.
compare it. We went unbeaten. No, sorry, we won a couple league titles.
15
We went
years ago.
unbeaten. And what have we done since?
Boy.
Yeah, that's Kanye West for
Won
you.
a few FA Cups.
But that's if he's had a couple hits.
True.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I found it really interesting when he said to Big Boy that he's not going to perform any of his own stuff anymore.
Is he not?
He said he's not going to perform any of his own stuff anymore. If the beat comes on, he'll just rap religious over it.
Yeah, keep it all.
Nah, I'll definitely.
Do you think he'll stick to it?
No.
I think he would, you know. He's that kind of. I think he would.
I don't think he will.
Can you imagine if All Falls Down comes on and he does a rap over All Falls Down?
Man, I promise. God is so conscious.
I'll throw my shoe at his head, bro.
Not serious, bro.
I'll throw my shoe at
That
his
was
head.
hard though, isn't it?
Wasn't it?
I'll throw my shoe at his head, bro. I swear, fam. If I come out to All Falls Down, yeah.
She said she wants some Kirk Franklin, some TD Jakes, a little,
That's it, Lecrae.
yeah, a little Lecrae. Oh, yuck.
Yuck. That's nasty.
No. Shout out to Kanye, man. I'm checked out, man. Of
It's-
him as a
I just want him to go sit down somewhere and just get the help.
I need
he
him to
needs,
sit down
man.
with Mr.
Don't
Mr.
work
Farrakhan,
on
fam.
anything. Just get right within. I feel like he just got a lot of stuff
That's what
within
that-
that he
yeah.
needs to
How
deal
much
with.
you
man.
reckon, like, the Kardashians are to do with it?
I don't know, man.
I feel like Kris Jenner's the devil.
I didn't ask that. I asked you how much the Kardashians are like, to do
sorry.
with it. Because obviously, like,
What you need to do with like his political
curse
views
is
and stuff.
Yeah, the Kardashian curse is very much a thing.
Bruv,
Shout out Lamar Odom.
Yo, Chris Humphries was at the league after a year he married Fig, fam.
Shout out
Chris
Lamar
Humph-
Odom.
Chris
Crackhead.
Humphries was 7'8", fam.
I'll never forget Stephen A. Smith saying,
And
yo,
he talk crack.
shout out Stephen A. Smith.
Yo.
But
I said Phil Jackson picked up Lamar Odom.
who was on crack? He said it not once but twice. But no, like
Lamar Odom
it's
really
very
took
much a real
crack.
thing. You know what I'm saying? It's very much a real thing. Like since he's been with Kim Kardashian for like what 7 years, he hasn't been the same since. You know what I'm saying?
Tiger just started making hits when he left Kylie Jenner.
Travis Scott, like he's probably like transcended them because he was able to make an amazing album last year, and even after he's dropped like a dope single.
Yeah, but then
So
he's
winning.
not with her anymore, so maybe that's why.
This is it.
Well, Tiger definitely came out when he left the Kardashians, boy.
Yeah, 100%. Do. Anyway,
Come on.
But yeah, man, I feel like it's a mad one, man, because
Yeah, man.
Kanye clearly needs help. We've said this. I feel like fans place too much of an expectation on a man who never really proclaimed to be our fucking savior or the man of the people. Although he's always said, "Oh yeah, I was the guy with the
Wait, hold on to interrupt you. He kind of did
when."
numerous times.
Give me an
I'm
example.
this. I'm the Walt Disney. I'm the Tupac of
That's
this.
not-
Was it?
No,
Was it a Zane
no.
Lowe?
I'm this.
Was it a Zane
I'm
I'm not gonna
that.
say. I'm not gonna say
Was it the
that
Zane Lowe
means he's off the
interview?
people.
Was it the Zane Lowe interview and he's like, I just told you who I think I am.
But is that for us though, or is that for like the wider audience?
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like
I'm talking
I feel
about
like
the black
Kanye has
I feel
always kind of like spoken as though
Nah,
he's representing. You know,
I agree with Yemi, bruv. We
the type of people.
I just think fans, we need to account for a lot. We look at ourselves in the mirror and really be like, yo, like we've placed him on a pedestal, man. I feel like obviously he's rapped about what he's rapped about. I understand that, but even listening to the stuff he's listened to, and you go to him now, of course, to any fan, whether you're pro Kanye or anti Kanye, it's a massive shift. It's a massive shift. He's not the same person. He's gone from like obviously crack music to now like he was talking about new slaves, fashion industry, all that shit. Like his priorities have changed as he's gotten richer, as he's seen more things, as he's married into the Kardashians. We can't keep putting the same 05 expectations on a man who has clearly changed, and we know he's changed. You know what I'm saying? We all want the old Kanye back, but that's long gone. So we need to stop putting so much weight onto someone who has changed so much. And I understand why we do, because we love his music and we're always going to wait for that new Kanye drop, all that stuff. But
I agree with you.
I think we also, sorry to cut you off, also like, you know, understand that like as humans, man, we have many different faces. There are many different, we're like extremely like multifaceted as well. And that's okay. You don't have to like every side of me. You don't have to agree with every side of me, but don't judge me solely on this side that you don't like. Because there are many different sides as well that you probably do like.
I completely agree. And that's exactly what Kanye was trying to say to Big Boy. Like, you, man, place me. And that's why he mentioned the George Bush thing so much, because people took that and rolled with it. And they're not able to get that out of their heads. But that's not the same person. 05 Kanye was still fresh from everybody saying he should just stick to producing. He's already dropped 2 classic albums. Like, he's proving his worth. And he latched onto an audience that really kind of sympathized with him, recognized in him that, you know, there was a real change going on in hip hop. There's that the remnants of that are long gone. But
what hopes do you have like for the future with Kanye?
I hope he finds inner peace, man. I really hope. If finding God is gonna do that, then by all means, I support that. Like, he's given me enough amazing work for me to be like, okay, I'll take a couple duds here and there, and that's fine as long as you're good, as long as you're well. I think he's probably still gonna be on this God wave for a bit. I don't know if it's gonna last. He might make up one day and be like, yo, nah, let me go back to
Being a heathen.
So You're Such a Fucking Hoe, I Love It. You know what I'm saying? And that's mad, because in the midst of all this, he dropped that song. Number one single, and he's already discarded it.
But I'm wrong if I say he's lying about it. Okay.
Fuck Lil Pump though. So
I agree with you though. I feel like we look at musicians and place them on a pedestal that they don't deserve. Malcolm X had a great quote.
It's tricky, man.
There's always time for a Malcolm X quote. But I don't remember the exact quote, but it was along the lines of when you look at us, we place musicians, actors, actresses, places that they don't deserve. Like he said, we should be looking at when it's white people, they've got politicians, people that deserve to be presidents, people that deserve to be looked at, whereas we look at musicians, athletes. We're not looking at the right people. Anyway, I don't know the exact
I agree.
quote, so there's a ballpark figure of
I agree. In an ideal world, we would look at someone like a David Lammy or like a Chuka Amuna.
No, we're not looking at David.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
I'm not hearing you out.
Can you hear me out?
Yeah, but we're not looking at
I'm
David
saying
Lammy.
no.
We're not looking at David Lammy.
Diane Abbott.
Cool.
I'm thinking about
Not David
black
Lammy.
MPs. I'm thinking about black
Don't
MPs.
take David Lammy out of it.
She aired my email one time actually.
Not David Lammy. That's what I'm saying, fam.
What I'm trying to say is,
Fuck David Lammy. Sorry, guys. I feel
Express yourself.
audience,
King.
in case you don't know, David Lammy is the MP for Tottenham, which is
Fuck David Lammy.
which is where Mo was from. I don't know if you know that.
I met this guy in a kebab shop to have a conversation with me, and
This is not a political podcast.
Fuck
What I'm
you,
trying to
man.
say is, we should be placing that sort of role model stuff
Facts.
on people who are actually around us that we can see and we can talk to that uplift us. Kanye, over some incredible beats, does the same thing, but he is just a musician.
Facts.
And he's just like a mogul. He's just a fashion designer. He's just all these other things. Let's be real, like, he's not going to change the world. Politicians are going to change the world. Really?
I agree with you. You know, dude.
He'll change the world with his music in the sense of like, he'll gather a fan base and stuff, and people might think differently about things in life and shit, but
Nothing that will fix us.
I just hope he gets to a point where he's not seeking validation. And I'm hoping like, you know, him kind of investing in, you know, getting close to God will do that for him as well. I find that like he's always seeking validation somewhere, whether it's, you know, in the fashion thing or whatever. Even on this album, and it felt as though he was trying to seek validation from, you know, fellow Christians. He had a couple bars where he was like, you know, I guess a bit disgruntled at the fact that he was getting a bit of criticism from some Christians and they're not kind of accepting him or whatever. So I just hope he gets to the point where he finds inner peace and he doesn't continue seeking validation.
It'll come off more genuine at that point.
the one thing about Kanye is he's always going to be contrived. Everything about him is contrived. Like from him announcing an album, delaying it, and then when it's time to come out, I'm still working on it, still getting the final mixes in. From the Zane Lowe interviews to the Big Boy interviews to the Breakfast Club interviews, everything is so contrived with him. He's so animated and, I don't even want to say angry, but he's very, very animated about everything. So I do hope that he's able to quell that a bit And it's hard, man. It's hard. I really don't know what's in his future because he switches up every time. Every time. Like, no album is the same. So his life is never the same either. I just hope that he just finds the peace that he clearly needs. And he deserves, man. Like, he's given us enough stuff and he's been through enough shit, man. Like, from the car crash to his mum dying to everything, man. He's been through so much. Like, all I want is the best for him. Like, at the end of it, like, that's like someone who, he's on my Mount Rushmore of like artists. So I just, it pains me to see him in this way and not really believe in anything that he's doing or saying. But I just hope in future he's able to like really like break down what he's trying to say properly and just find the peace that he needs.
Is cancel culture real?
No,
Good talk.
it's not. And people who say people are cancelled can fuck right off because we're still giving these people money. We're still going to shows. We're still talking about them. No. Like, there are constant examples of, you know what? Let me rephrase that. Cancel culture might be real to some people, but to the wider audience, probably not. That's why someone like Travis Scott, who said, more or less said that Mike Brown deserved to die, can then, I'm at his concert and enjoying his music.
Yeah.
That's why someone like 6ix9ine, when he eventually comes out, is going to be able to make music. He's not cancelled.
He's definitely not cancelled because Hamza listened to him.
Kanye, and even Kanye made a good point when he said to Big Boy, like, I've been cancelled. Like, you cancelled me before cancel culture.
That's a fact.
Taylor Swift, this, that, and the other. Guess what? I'm still here. That don't mean shit. Cancel culture is just a thing that people have clung on to make themselves feel better about not listening to an artist.
It's only
because
worked.
no one else does.
It's only worked once.
Who did it work with?
R. Kelly. It definitely worked with R.
We're
Kelly.
going to stop mentioning R. Kelly.
No, I'm just saying, generally, that's the only person I think it's ever worked with.
Has it even really worked?
Yeah, R. Kelly's
No,
done these streets.
Because after surviving R.
hasn't.
Kelly, his streams went up.
But I think
it?
that's
Yeah.
I think
For
that's
real.
part.
Yeah.
But I think that's part. We're not talking about R. Kelly, but I think that's part. I think that's part people wanting to hear the references to his smutty behavior,
Because he mentions the Leo.
but also genuine fans. All right, so it's part. It's all tricky, man. It's all tricky.
I stand corrected.
It's all
I
tricky.
thought it genuinely worked. But cancel culture is a myth, man. Because as much as I criticize Kanye West now and everything, I'm not.
And let's
I don't
be
stand
real.
for him, but if he drops a
I'll be real.
another graduation,
He hasn't
tomorrow,
done
I'll be real though, man. His music sounds different to me.
it doesn't sound the
Or
same.
even
man.
like college dropout.
Yeah, it
like,
don't sound the same, man. I can't lie. And maybe that speaks more to me. Maybe it speaks more to where I've placed him. But
No, it is.
it sounds hella
Wait,
different.
his new music.
But we don't know.
all these music.
We don't know, but we don't know. I know, I definitely don't know for sure who the real Kanye is because he's changed so much. So we don't even know if the Kanye of 04 to like 08, 07, 08 is even the real Kanye. We don't know.
No, I won't say that. I think he's all of these people.
Yeah.
All of these people wrapped in one. These are different versions of
Can
them.
you have this many?
Yeah, bro. Like,
Personalities in the
people
space of 10 years.
as humans, we're like very complex.
Yeah, you can
very
change,
complex.
you can develop,
Yeah,
you can
but
grow.
like he's changed 4 times in the last 4 years.
Bro, we're complex, man. We continue to grow as we get
I
older.
agree with
we
you.
take new things in, new experiences.
I genuinely
agree
believe.
with you. I'm just saying, he goes to these last 4 years. He's gone to the extreme of everything.
No, you know what it is though?
Religion, bipolar, Walt Disney.
But then, how much of this is related to him being bipolar?
That's what I'm saying. So like, okay, when you say,
You know what I'm saying? So there are obviously mental, issues there too, and how much of all of this
Plays a
is
factor into it.
is a result of that as well. We got to bear that in mind.
Yeah.
But if we're just talking about the artistry, yeah, we know what it is with Kanye, man. Like he's one of the best. He's one of the greatest. We'll never count him out artistically, but just morally, he just got to get some things straight.
100%. And even if he doesn't, he's still going to be on the TO when an album is coming. He's still going to be on the TO when he's tweeting. He's still going to gather so much attention because of who he is. Like, he can drop his next 10 albums, if he even drops 10 albums, can be doo-doo. We're still going to be expecting the next Kanye drop because that's how much he's done to us. And as much as fans want to cancel him or say he's changed or he's like, fuck him, this, that, and the other, we're still, some of us anyway, I'm not going to say all of us, we're still going to be clamoring for whatever he has to say or do next.
I've got a question for you guys. It's a yes or no before we move on. Do you think Kanye will ever drop another classic? Yes or no?
Probably not, but I think he'll still drop good
man,
albums.
Big man said yes or no.
Probably not, but I can't just answer that with yes or no.
Fair enough. Yeah, but can you do a better job just saying yes or no?
Yes. And the reason why I say yes is because if he just locks himself in the studio, let's say he does the same thing he did with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, locks himself in the studio with
You think
every
he'd do
legend,
Dark Twisted?
maybe not that, but I reckon maybe to like, for me, he's got 4 classics.
Same.
So I think he definitely has that. He definitely has that in him, 100%. Because the musical genius in him is never going to go away. Yeah. I learned that with this album. It's never going to go away. Because there are moments of pure like, this is amazing. On the album.
Which moments?
He's still stuttering.
The choir sequences.
That's intentional.
The choir sequences throughout. Water. I mean, I love Follow God. You might not call it genius, but I love that.
The choir sequence was amazing, by the way.
Most of them were. I think like even if it's not like musically techie and musically like sophisticated, like
It's just the little stuff.
you know what I'm saying? He perfects some of the little stuff that releases something in you.
Fine.
You know what I'm saying?
I low key like it when he sings too.
I'm getting used to it. I'm used to it. I'm 100% used to it. But I definitely feel like if he locks himself away and he gives himself more than 27 minutes to make a project, because even Ye was and Kids See Ghosts, they was having tracks that probably weren't even longer than half an hour. So if he gives himself maybe like 40, 50 minutes, I think so. And he's focused. Because even if the lyricism was bad on Jesus is King, he sounded a bit more focused because of the subject matter. I feel like if he's got the same focus on a topic that he's really fleshed out and passionate about, yeah.
But even on the subject matter, I would have liked for him to maybe speak more to how he got here. I think a lot of it was just praise God, Jesus this, Jesus that. But how did you get here? I was looking for more of that in the story. In the lyrical content.
Yeah.
Like, talk to me about what you've dealt with that has brought you to this point. And I feel like that's where the album was a bit bland for me. It was a bit repetitive in that respect as well.
Yeah, 100%.
But no, I like the fact that, he's praising the Most High. So,
Fair enough. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens with Kanye.
Salute to him, man. Just whatever.
I hope, like, we're all human at the end of the day. Like, even if someone does something that we don't agree with, we wish them the best. And especially someone who's given us so much over the past 15 years. So I wish him the best. I hope he finds what he's looking for. And I'm still going to be waiting for any album he puts out.
You're still rooting for him, man.
100%, man.